Albert. Okay, let's talk stats. Shoot your first question to start it out. Stats is a real rabbit hole. It sure is. Yeah, which one do you want to start with? Your call. You take the steering wheel. Can you just assume that attack is the most important? Short answer, no. So if you remember the top 5 stats, that is mirroring what legends are prioritizing. I think that's a better start. So you got mineral reduction costs, skill evade rate, skill resistance, ranger regeneration. Oh, actually this website is not really oh, they list it as normal cooldown. Yeah, ranger. I'll just use this one then. Yeah, the top 5 stats. Top 5 stats is a good place to start. Yep. Stats over your gears. Yep. It's okay. It's okay. You notice that there's a pattern of certain values to certain type of stats. So at HP, it's always 444%. Physical or magical attack is always 400%. And then skill evade rate, skill resistance is always not more than 100% in total. So what's the question? How would you, where do you want to start? Your hammer. Yep, there it is. So one way to, I guess, start is different rangers actually has different top 5 stats. Sure hit rate, no, not necessarily. You're talking about this one, right? Oh, okay. You notice that sure hit rate is not listed in the stats here, in the ranger stats, but it is only listed in the in gears. Yeah, and it's always 24% at most. You can't go any higher than this. There is no 4th stat, there is no 5th stat for skill sure hit rate. But yes, technically if it's 100%, you always hit. But so far, there are no gears or no skills that will make it go past 24%. It's always limited to a quarter. Well, one way to think about it is that is how they are balancing the game right now. You can't. Skill sure hit rate is only on weapons, and each ranger can only have one weapon. It's only on a weapon. You don't have skill sure hit rate on the armor or the accessory. It's only available on the weapon. Here, check out, try to study the gears. You will notice there's a pattern. There is a pattern, right? So for weapons, right, you can filter weapons here. You'll notice weapons, they typically have certain stat that keeps on repeating itself, right? And same goes for armor and accessory. But yeah, back to your question just now, skill sure hit rate is only on weapons. And usually they are only on the really good weapons, right? The meta weapons. That's how they're balancing the game right now. Skill evade rate, yeah, skill evade rate. Okay, skill evade rate. Skill evade rate. Again, you can always come to this side gear section to check it out. Right, it's Control F. Search for skill evade rate. Yeah, accessories, armor, and I think more importantly, there is no fourth stat in skill evade rate for weapon. Yeah, there is no fourth stat. So. But you have skill resistance in fourth stat. So the fourth stat switch list, there's also a pattern. So you should always try to spot the pattern. But yeah, skill evade rate, you can only get it on armors and accessories. Gotta watch those ads. I think I saw somewhere they were saying that the odds is around 0.2%. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. Keep watching those ads. Take your time. I'm just having some tea, and then we are 10 minutes in. Yeah, just talk about stats. There you go. There's the ticket right there. How did you search gears? Remember this website? Larico. Oh, it's run by I think a Taiwanese. Yes, Control F. That's right. It's a Chrome, basically a browser search feature. So I'm gonna let you in on, actually, I've compiled the data before for gear, so you know, I'll just show you here. Actually, here is the something good, nice to know about the pattern. Save you some time. That's okay. Here we go. Is there a max to skill evade? Generally for skill evade and skill persistence, 100%. 100%. Because the definition of skill evade rate, it's actually pretty simple. But let's give you the definition. Skill evade rate. Gonna find that, just that description is the official Line Ranger definition. There you go. Skill evade rate boost, no. Yeah, it's basically 0 to 100% because there's logically no nothing that goes past 100%. So that's why if you look at most of the legend players, right? Or I can just show you here, right? They will just try to make sure that their skill evade rate and their skill resistance touches 100%. That's with perfect gearing. So let me show you. Even I don't have that perfect gearing most of the time, so maybe here, yep, something like this. 100%, then you're good to go. And here's how you can think about what's more important between skill evade rate and skill resistance. Because the weapons have skill sure hit rate, which means that 24% of the time, a quarter percent of the time, the skill will always land, right? That means that it technically ignores skill evade rate. But then in the end, does this mean you should prioritize skill resistance? Logically, yes, but in the end, if you can still dodge 3%, three times out of 4, that's actually better odds. So sometimes, you know, when you lose, it's safe to say that you lost to RNG. If that 24% constantly lands, there's nothing much that you can do. I'm just trying to help you understand usually how do veteran players prioritize more between skill evade rate and skill resistance. Which one is more important? Short answer is skill evade rate, because of that logic just now that I mentioned of the existence of this skill sure hit rate. What is the rate bracket part from Gears? Rate bracket? Shouldn't 100% evade always win against skill sure hit rate? No, the answer is no. That's why many players debate the definition of this stat. This stat has been tested to override 100% skill evade rate. Even if you have 100% skill evade rate or 120%, whatever it is, this skill sure hit rate will ensure that your hits will always land at least 1 out of 4 times. It has been tested. And that's how most of the high level players play. That's why your rangers can still die, basically. Even if you have 100% skill evade rate. So that part of the logic is where the game starts to become, well, not so logical, put it that way. There is no minimum. this skill show hit rate, the way the game has provided the gear so far, they only give weapons with 24%. There is nothing lesser. You can't find any weapon or any gear with less or more than 24%. You cannot find it. You meant 24% skill show hit rate against 0% rate. What's the question? If you have 0% skill evade rate, you won't evade your skills at all, basically. That one is also tested. Skill resistance. I was talking about how to think about skill resistance and skill evade rate, because they both go hand in hand. So you know what skill resistance does, right? I'll try to get that terminology out. I think they have it somewhere here. Yeah. It's only specific. Okay, let's not talk about defense first. Defense is something that nobody knows. Now let's just talk about skill resistance. Skill resistance basically just resists against skills only, not normal attacks. Skills only. I think someone managed to get the definition out here. I think it's somewhere here. There you go. So skill evade rate increases dodge chance against skills. I think this one is directly from the Line Ranger official documentation, but I can't seem to find it right now. It's a bit of a hassle to find it. Skill resistant. Yeah, the definitions, it's basically choppy English, because I think it's translated from Japanese. Skill resistant reduces the damage received from skills. Well, we covered the definitions, but now the more important question is actually how to think about it. which one is more important, what is enough, what is not enough. That is the next step. Oh, actually, they do write it here. Look at this. This is how Line Ranger's official writes it. What is skill show hit rate? This stat serves to ignore the evade rate of enemy rangers and to hit them with regular attack. Okay, this is sure hit rate. This is skill sure hit rate. This stat serves to ignore the skill evade rate. So it ignores the skill evade rate. That's the keyword. So if skill sure hit rate ignores skill evade rate, basically it overrides it, right? It overrides skill evade rate. It doesn't matter what you have, 100%, 70%, 20%, 150%, 500%, it doesn't matter. There's no way to get 500%, but yeah, you get the point. Where is skill resistant? Skill resist. I think you are okay. I think your is okay. Let's take a quick look. Where are you at? Where are you at? Okay, so your skill evade rate is 92% and your skill resistance is 30%. So yeah, based on this, what your needs right now is, yeah, you could if you can close the gap between 92% and 100% because you still have 8%, right? And yeah, you just need skill resistance right now. And she'll be a lot tankier against skills. So you can actually consider, yes, Leo Watch is the best. It's the meta. Yeah, I use it. Yeah, you can actually consider switching your Christmas Hammer's 4th stat into skill resistance. Maximum is 40%. That will put your skill resist up to 70%. And then I think you will feel that she's a lot tankier after that, because you don't really need to reduce regeneration time too much right now. Also, there's one more thing. You probably will only use regeneration time as your 4th stat if you have persistence. Yeah. The thing about persistence is once a ranger goes into persistence, they will not use skills. So in other words, when you have more skill resistance and your becomes tankier, she can probably whip out another skill or two before she dies. Yeah, that's another way to think about it, because the no mercy skill is every 6 seconds. That's pretty short actually. Yeah, it's pretty good. 4th stat, HP as 4th stat on boots. Yeah, if you have the watch, yes, if you have the watch. But right now, Bell is already okay. Yeah, Bell is okay. Oh yeah, you have Pew also. Pew. Too much regen or mineralization? No. The more that you can reduce, the better. There's no such thing as too much. It goes hand in hand. When your regeneration is lesser, you use up more mineral. It goes hand in hand. So there's no such thing as too much. You want it to be reduced. you want it to be reduced. If you notice, most of the top players, most of the games are not won by a few rangers. They're mostly won by an overwhelming deployment of rangers. I think that should be pretty clear, right? Yeah, pretty obvious. It's not like one ranger comes out and then it wipes out the whole team. Okay, I think that should wrap it. I think we've only touched, I think, maybe 3% of the surface of how to think about stats. There's a lot more that we haven't touched, but yeah, I think it will come as time comes. Yeah, you will start to realize what each stat means. Can you compare Mayor to a better one? A better one? What do you mean by better one? I have a T1 Yor. Mine is also 9-star. You good? More importantly is this one. The ability. Oh, it sure is. That's why it's top 5. Especially on tank. Oh, we don't have to waste time talking about why you have to gacha. That's the way the game works. It makes the game a little bit fun, in a certain way, yeah. Because you gotta get lucky with landing the ability when you level into 9-star. Oh yes, Reawakening tickets is very rare. But nowadays you can buy it here. I think they have it here. Yeah, there you go. But actually, these are you can argue that it's rarer than 9-star Super Leonards. They very it's even rarer of a give up. Yeah. That's why it makes sense to use another duplicate 9-star ranger as a fuse, because you may have a chance at getting a different ability that you want from that dupe, but you have to spend whatever that it takes to evolve them into 9-star. 20 Hyper Leonards or 20 Ultra with whatever materials, Awakening Stones. That's why it makes sense to do that, instead of rolling the Awakening tickets. I've seen some players, they spend up to like 5 or 6 tickets just to, you know, randomly gacha the right ability. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying that is a better option if your account has a lot of materials to make another level 9. It depends on your situation, right? It depends on how important the rangers are also. For most old accounts, they would have amassed a lot of resources. Then yes, this is typically the better route, because you would save the reawakening tickets for very special, like you really need it on like a really important ranger, then you use it. This is this is the debate every month, which makes the game fun. Yeah, they're different. I don't think they're comparable. They're different. You shouldn't compare flyers against non-flyers. They operate independently of each other. You shouldn't compare it. Correct, because you can get an awakening by the 23rd day of attendance. Here you can see it here. You need 2 more. You just need 2 more because you need 3 to evolve into 9-star. You can get another one if you contribute enough to guild raids, guild wars. Yeah, you can buy it here in the guild swap shop. So that's 2, and then the 3rd one will come here in your pass, free pass right here. So you should have your you should have your 3rd one here next month. Yeah, you get 2 basically if you play every day, right? You get it, 1 from here, the pass, and you get from the login. You get 2 every month already, actually. Oh, this is the other air ambush. Oh, you won't? Oh, okay. you started a couple days, right, into December. What login days are you at right now? "17 days." Oh, okay. There's 8 more days to go, so yeah. Well, at least you got the awakening, yeah. So, which means you started on the 6th, right? The 6th of December. Okay. Okay, Albert. Do you have any more questions on stats? We've only covered like just the tip of the iceberg. Is the attendance event every month? Oh yeah. Every month is attendance for sure. Yeah, it's the same generally. There are certain months that you get I think it's very rare, but you get 9-star Super Leonards. I think there was one or 2 months in 2024 that did that. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I have to go in about 5 minutes. Yeah, we gotta sign off for the next few hours. But yeah, attendance every month, yes. There are certain months that they give out the 9-star Superland, but it's been a while. It's been a while. Only in 2024, I remember there was 1 or 2 months. Please, Santa, just give us more right now. I think they have stopped a lot of give outs. Yeah. No, actually, stats is really important. Okay, let me tell you what's apart from the top 5. There are a couple more which you cannot impact from gears, but they are very important, and they will affect whether you choose that ranger or not, right? So for example, skill cooldown 1 and 2, you gotta pay attention to it because different rangers have different skill cooldowns, and that makes a lot of difference to how impactful that ranger can be. So let me give you an example. Not Kappa, maybe not Kappa. So okay, Yor. Let's use Yor. So Yor, okay, her damage is on the first skill, right? I will show no mercy, and you can see that the skill cooldown 1 is 6 seconds, right? 6 seconds. So here's another strength character. Let's go. I don't know. Let's go to a previous meta, and you will see why. So let's say Denji is a good comparison. Oh yeah, not bad. So okay, you see Denji, skill cooldown 1, 4 seconds. That is 2 seconds shorter. So different rangers have different skill cooldowns. So this means Denji's advance and damage area will be 2 seconds faster than Yor. Even though Yor has a wider hitback, that's another stat that is important. You can't really impact with your gears, but it comes with the rangers. So all these stats, like skill cooldown 1, skill cooldown 2, hitback range, these are really important in ranger selection. It doesn't feel like Denji spams skills a lot. It will. Mathematically, the skill cooldowns are correct. They are 4 seconds is 4 seconds, yeah. Whether or not it takes out the rangers, that one is a different story, because you gotta look at skill show hit rate, your skill resistance, how much HP it has, what is the attack, which ranger attacks it, which ranger skill has a bigger multiplier, what is the element, is there element prowess, right? There's many things that actually impacts the calculation. Many things. The level, yeah. So yeah, just a heads up. Gets one shot by yeah, it sounds right, yeah. You know why? Because you don't have skill resistance. Yeah. Your skill resistance is only 30%. That's the reason why. You know, we could try it out one day. I'll just set my defense to boss, and then you try with skill resistant gears and without. I assure you, the one with the skill resistance will last a lot longer. That's the reason why your Yor is not tanking right now also. I mean, it's not a perfect gearing, but which is very hard to obtain, but at least you know the reason why. Right? Because, and there's also the 8% here, right? See that 8%? 8%, so there's an 8% chance that your Yor does not evade the skill. Well, okay, not necessarily just the Leo watch. Actually, there's a few more, right? There's a few more, so let's check it out. So the best gears that helps with these top 5 stats of skill resistance and evade rate, there's actually quite a lot of them. Yeah. This one is accessories, right? Yeah. So accessory, the watch is only one of them. There's actually a lot more. Some are collab, some are not. Like this one is not collab. This one is next month. New Year Blue Dragon necklace. This one is next month. This one is next month, yeah. 50%, 50%. and mineral reduction. So no, it's not just a Leo watch. Actually, there's a lot of gears actually. Yeah. And of course, it depends on the attribute or the element, right? So you gotta watch out for these. Most of these over here, they are the collab. Yeah, they are collab. Yes, they are the same stats as the watch. They have skill resistant maximum of 50% reduction, skill evade rate maximum 50% reduction, and mineral production cost reduction of 30%. These list of accessories, they have the same grouped stat reduction. So here is I gathered the data, and then these are all the list of gears that have that shares the same group set of stat reductions. So this one is HP, skill evade rate, and mineral production cost. Skill plus is don't think too much about skill plus for now, because it's not important. Skill plus usually doesn't impact the stats, it impacts the skill, right? So don't think about skill plus too much for now. It's very hard to really match skill plus actually. Just worry about the top five stats. Skill evade, skill resistance, just worry about this for armors and accessories. That's why, in other words, the Christmas Holy Boots is not the most ideal armor, because it doesn't have skill resistance. That's why I recommended you to switch this 4th stat into skill resistance, so you would then have closer to 100%, right? Right now it's just clear that your bell is just the only gap between making your yor into a perfectly geared yor. Yeah. So you see, you have something like watch, which will give 50% on both skill evade and skill resistance. And then if your armor also covers 50-50, you're good to go. Yeah. But strength ranges by default comes with 30% skill resistance, right? So there's a little bit of leeway, and some players, if they get T2, for example, you get another 20%. So if your for example has talent 2, boots is okay, because you just need like a watch, then you're good to go. You don't need an armor with skill evade and skill resistance. So there's a lot of variations. Yeah, there's a lot of variations, but that's how you can think about trying to get both skill evade and skill resist to 100%. Okay, and here's one more point. Remember this guy with this ability, now that he has this ability, Kappa, your skill evade rate and skill resistance don't mean shit anymore right now. Because of this ability, it's actually more important to have HP, so you can last longer, to take hits from Kappa. So that's why Kappa is really messing up the meta right now. So if you were to gear to tank against, let's say, skills like boss, but you would die easily against Kappa. But if you gear for Kappa, you can't really tank against boss. That's right. That's why people have HP for boots. That is right. So it depends on how you gear, and then how you try to, maybe if you can, you cover all areas. Maybe some people that I can imagine them running for boots, they can still cover skill resistance because they have T2, right? Another 20% there. And then they have a watch, and then that gets them to 100%, and then they try to put HP on either the weapon. Yeah. Yeah. Skill plus for the HP usually is just it's just the buff, right? Most of the time, like legend players, they don't really. I mean, buff is helpful, but it's not really reliable, because there's a lot of rangers that can cancel buff. Right? Skills like this, you see, continuously cancels enemy buffs. It's gonna be fired a lot from a lot of rangers here. Yeah. See, continuously cancels enemy buff. Most of the meta ranges, they always have a cancel enemy buff, so chances are whatever you have on your skill buffs, it will be nullified. Yeah. If I get watch, I should be fully covered. Yes, for one strength ranger. You know, actually, that there is a sale package. I think maybe after playing 1 month or two, that I think it's quite cheap. You can roll a gacha. It's a random gacha, but there's a chance. I think maybe a 10% chance to get Leonard Watch. So, yeah, because Leonard Watch is honestly very, 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 very hard to randomly gacha. It's very low odds. It's very, very low odds. Where is it? 0.04. There you go. It's very, very low odds. Yeah. Yes, in November. November. You just missed it. November. November is Leonard. But nobody usually gachas during November. Nobody tries to go for Leonard because, again, you see, you can get these top 5 stats from the collab gears, and maybe some Christmas, right? Depending on what attribute or elements your ranger has, it's much better to go for collabs. Much better. Because it's the same. It's the same. You just need to match the element or the attribute. You see, like right now, Lloyd's hat, right? The current gacha, it has the perfect skill evade and skill resist stat, right? And then there's Anya accessories. If you have a water ranger, yeah, it's perfect. It has the perfect stats. See? Skill resistance, skill evade, mineral production cost. The Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity for accessories and armor. That's why the pin was the debate, but you know the reason why it's a debate is because it's the dark gear. Dark gears are very rare. So you feel like you're being welcomed to Line Rangers again with these realizations, huh? But don't worry, don't go for Leonard gears. Go for the collab gears. Yeah, it's good. You know why? Because all you need for your Yor right now is for persistence in 9-star, and then she will hold the line until your Pew takes down the tower. That's all you need to do. Because you can't kill your rangers right now, right? You can't kill your opponent rangers right now. You just have to stall until your Pew reaches to the tower. That's essentially your strategy for your team right now, since you don't have a DPS. And Anya can kind of help out in terms of converting charming rangers here. So yeah, anyway, back to the point. You don't have to go target gacha for Leonard. Go for the collab gears. And here's the calendar. That's right, you do lose so little damage. That's why you need to stall until your Pew takes it up. Of course, if you can get it, it's so hard to get the pistol. It is very hard, but if you can get it, yes, perfect. Because the pistol can also be used by Yor. It's the same thing, yeah. So, New Year's gear is good, but you don't really need the whip because it's for intelligence. Only this the necklace will be good for Yor, right? It's the perfect stat strength accessory. February, you may want to look out for it because it gives you a skill show hit rate weapon. See, you see weapon is 8-star. But the problem is you don't really have DPS, so you don't really need a weapon unless February collab rangers, you manage to pull a DPS ranger. Is there something similar for New Year's? Similar in terms of what? The pistol? No. For the pistol, it's exclusive to Christmas gun. New Year, you can see here, New Year weapon. It's for intelligence only. It's intelligence only. But it actually, you know, even if you give this kind of gear to a non-intel ranger, it still works. It still works because you still get three stats out of you know, the 4, right? Of course, the 4th stat would be nice, but you still get the 3 stats. Yeah, overall attack, skill sure hit rate, and ranger regeneration time, which is really good actually. But it's not the best weapon for you right now. Yeah, and you don't need it also because you don't have a DPS. But February might have a collab, right? A collab ranger that might be new meta, might be DPS. You might gacha it, so you know, there's always those possibilities. Yeah. Every month, on average, you get about 100 gacha tickets. Yeah. For free if you play every day. Pew. It's actually quite simple. Just go look at what legends are doing with her. So there's 2 ways you can do that. One is that, remember this link I gave you before? Yeah, you can check it out here. And the other is to check out just the legends. Yeah. Lung Yut is definitely running Purity for sure. This is the ideal setup. Attack, yeah. There's this stat called Bliss Rush Odds. What it means is basically it immediately rushes out and attacks twice. Yeah, that's called Blitz Rush. It's a special stat. Yeah. So these are all very old weapons. You cannot even get this kind of stats right now. They don't release it anymore. So don't even think about it. Yeah. It's an old weapon. Headphones. You see Cloudwing shoes for sure. Yeah. Let's see. This one's pretty helpful. If you click on it here, and then it will load the list of weapons, right, by popularity. So that should help you. Let's see what they prioritize. Speed, movement speed for sure, yes, because the faster you get to the tower, the faster you take it up. So yeah, Christmas gun, right, number 1. Theta gun, oh, interesting. Theta gun is pretty good too. Yeah, it's a light weapon. Theta gun, but that's a collab. You won't get it anymore, so you don't have to worry about it. So what do people prioritize? I think the basic, again, the top 5: ranger regeneration time, overall attack, and skill show hit rate. Yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. Okay. This weapon is a god tier weapon. Croc King sword. You may have seen it. Croc King sword. Where is it? It doesn't show it here, but yeah, see damage. It increases damage for skill. Yeah, so that's why people use this. It's actually pretty similar to the Lloyd pin. Yeah. Croc King, yes, you can get it, but every year it only comes out in May. Yeah. But maybe they release something nice and different this year. So that's why the pin is special. The pin's 5th stat is an area damage addition, right? This is super powerful, right? So you see your skills, adding whatever the number is, right? So like for example, my kappa is 3,300 plus 1,100, so it's 4,400 multiplier, right? So that's what makes gears like Pin, the Croc King Sword. Not many of them actually have this kind of area damage 5th skill, right? Because most of the skill plus is like skill evade rate, skill addition, those kind of stuff, skill use rate. So this one is really is probably arguably the best 5th stat, the fifth stat skill. Yeah, attack X n% area damage. How is area damage calculated? Oh, this one is a simple multiplier. So let's just say my kappa, right? You add these two numbers up, so the multiplier is 3,300 plus 1,100, right? This one you can calculate. So you have 4,400, and then you multiply by the attack. Not this number here. This number here is the DPS, damage per second. You actually need to calculate the skill damage hit. You take the total attack. So in my kappa, right, you take this number 341,4030, so 3.4 million, right, plus whatever stat enhancement. So I think this one is 305,214. They really need to put commas in. So 30 million, right? So my kappa skill does 33.9 million times 4,400%, which is basically times 44. So my kappa does 1.4 billion. Yep, that's right. And then the area is basically the hit back range. How wide is the hit back range? Remember the video I was showing you, right? Yours has a very huge range. Yeah. So you have to factor all that in to see how much basically you can kill. So this is actually where stats is actually useful. So let me just show you something. Let me just show you something before I sign off. I gotta sign off soon. I'm gonna show you. Okay, so if you take all the stats from Lerico, because they provided the stats here, right? You can actually plot out all the rangers. You can actually plot out all of the rangers. Where do they stand in terms of their attack and their attack multiplied by their skill damage percentage, right? Which is this one, right? So if you do that, you can actually plot it out. This one is still how do you say it? It's closely related to the actual tested results, right? This one can explain one hit takeouts. Yes, you've been getting DPS and attack mixed up. So this one is this symbol right here is DPS, right? So for example, you see my kappa 24,000K, so that's 24 million, right? It's actually this number, right? This number divided by your attack speed, right? So the attack speed doesn't make sense here because they give you a bunch of values. So you can actually get it from Lerico. So let's say kappa, right? Kappa's here. And okay, just now we've calculated for kappa. My kappa's attack is 33.9 million, right? So the attack speed is right here. They usually give it here. So let me just see. Kappa. Yeah, I think it's this one. They call it attack interval, so every 1.73 seconds. So if you take 33.9 divided by 1.73 without any buffs or attack speed multipliers, yeah, you can get the DPS. Anyway, what was I talking about just now? Yeah, actually, more importantly, you can actually plot out, you can actually explain one hits here. Like for example, these are all of the 9-star rangers, right? And this is usually what I use to check if a ranger is like meta or not. This is one of the aspects. You can actually compare their relative attack and skill. If you can compare the attack and skill side by side, right, with all the other ranges. So you can see, right, you have the skill attack on the y-axis, on the x-axis, and then on the y-axis you have like a skill attack divided by the skill cooldown, right? Every second, on average, how much skill attacks it takes. You can actually plot it out actually, right? And you can see most of the mana ranges, they're at the top, and they're usually intelligence ranges, right? So strength is pink, intelligence is blue, there's a bunch of them, and agility is green, right? And so where is, let's say for example, where is your? Your would be, okay, so if you want to look at HP and attack, your will be here. In terms of attack, just raw attack, right, without any skill percentage, yours stands here, right? So you can see, even though, yeah, this is what I was telling you about power creep stat. So normally strength by default have lower attack, but your is already having more attack than most of the previous agility rangers, and even some old intelligence rangers. Yeah, and of course to compensate, they have way more HP, right? And you see the game will be nicely balanced because there's no ranger that actually exists in the middle on the top right, because if there's any ranger on the top right in this HP to attack scatter plot, they are technically overpowered. They have a lot of HP and they have high attack, so none of them exist, and each ranger is special, right? So this is just based on, you know, attack and HP. Yeah. And Anya is probably not really here. Yeah, see, Anya is just right here. Pretty decent attack, but the fact that she doesn't have a skill multiplier, it really puts her much lower, right? She doesn't have a skill multiplier like the typical intelligence ranger does. Yeah. A typical ranger, intelligence ranger, will have this kind of area damage multiplier. Okay, Albert, I think that's about it. I gotta sign off, but that was a nice little tip of the iceberg stat session. This one is really useful, so we'll use this as in the future. And that's what makes it fun, right? Now you know how to look at the different rangers. So not just the skill, not just the stat, but also how to think about the stats. There's a lot of possibilities. You dream about stats tonight? Have fun, man. All right. Bye-bye.